Hi, this is Heretic here, and thank you for joining. Today we're going to look at the song Worth It by YK Osiris. The producers on this track are Kiwi, also known as Caleb Hedberg, who also contributed to the lyrics. We have Taz Taylor and Casey Supreme, Travis Mills, who also was on the show Flaked on Netflix. We also have MG Easy, also known as Melvin Goggins Jr., who also contributed to the guitar and the lyrics. We have additional lyrics and composition by YK Osiris, Orlando Woods Jr., known for his T-Pain track Booty Work, and Kim Candelora, who has worked with Rich the Kid and Little Nar. The runtime of this track is 3 minutes and 9 seconds. YK Osiris started his career at only the age of 18, and after only releasing a few tracks online, he rose to fame quickly and was signed only 2 years later to Def Jam Records, where he released the single Valentine. The producers involved in the making of the beat for this track are very noteworthy, with at least 2 of the producers involved with Internet Money. Internet Money is known for leasing and selling a large percentage of the beats used in the genre. The others involved have also made significant contributions in the hip-hop genre. Let's take a look at the beat. The beginning of the track starts with some chording on the piano. The riff sound utilizes 3 major chords, which is the basic makeup of a typical pop song. There's an addition of a single note played following each chord in the progression. The bass beat drops at around 15 seconds on the track, where the addition of an 8-bar beat with the clap played on the 2, and at the end of 3, and again on 4. A simple fill is added between 21 seconds and 23 seconds in the track. The bass beat stays the same at 30 seconds, and then we get a change within the beat with what sounds like an addition of 64th notes on a hi-hat hip-hop beat. And the snare and the bass bounce off each other, each still on 2 and 4. The beat changes during the hook, removing the 64th notes and bouncing back to the snare and the bass beat. The tempo sounds to be around 80 to 90 beats per minute, so definitely more of an R&B groove to it. Prior to the guitar coming in, you hear the same fill that occurred between 21 and 23 seconds. The guitar solo enters and brings some hammer-ons that end with a nice clean vibrato on the strings, and then towards the end you hear some fast arpeggios with vibratos prior to transitioning back into the hook. The guitar is oddly suspect to me, however, as the guitar recording sounds clean to an unnatural level. The guitar was most likely used a DI box and run through software that mimics the sound of a guitar cab, but no level of miking in my experience would a guitar ever sound that perfect, except when using some software instead of natural miking. The song then goes back to the intro beat, then goes to the end of the track. Let's take a look at the vocals. YK Osiris' vocals are natural, as it doesn't seem like he is pushing his vocals, but most likely he has a natural grit in normal conversation that may be more evident during singing. When listening to his vocal track, you can hear slight unnatural modulations in his voice for a fraction of a second. I am fairly certain that autotune was used, as when he holds some of the longer notes and moving with an octave, it does sound unnatural at times. I do think, however, he can actually sing, but typically auto-tune is used to keep studio time minimal and keep production costs lower with less takes, so the use of it was more to prevent retakes than to actually force his voice to sound better. His voice does sound kind of thin and not nearly as robust as you would expect in R&B compared to the likes of R. Kelly, Sam Cooke, John Legend, Usher, etc. I do not think he has had any formal vocal training, but since he is still fairly new to the scene, I feel he can only get better. So let's take a look at the lyrics. The lyrics are comprised of 3 hooks and 1 verse. The lyrics are simplistic, which is typical considering the genre. R&B has never provided any real prophetic lyrics and is focused more often on emotionally driven lyricism. The premise of this track is Despite criticism from others, he wants to keep the girl he is with even though he is on the road and exposed to women constantly. The line, "I just really want to know, do you love me? Don't lie," is kind of strange, as to me this comes off as guilt that could be because he is always gone or because he is guilty about fooling around. But I've been doing shows, I swear I ain't doing you wrong. This represents a possible confrontation from his girl. Maybe she doesn't actually trust him. The vibe throughout the verse to me comes off as trying to keep his relationship afloat. I am unsure of the intent of the lyrics, but with the way it is written, it gives me a sense of uncertainty bordering on desperation. The sentiment is great, as despite gaining fame, he is still remaining faithful. He may be faithful, but with the flow of the lyrics, it does come off as a cry out to try and keep what he has despite her lack of certainty. The main hook, "You just gotta be worth it," comes off as kind of narcissistic, as mainly he's given up other women on the road for her. I would ask additionally if he was worth all the trouble. I do think the lyrics are meant well, but the approach comes off as she is almost a burden to him, but for some reason he still wants her around. I feel that the lyrics show the appreciation of stability, but his view of her is mainly that, is she worth me not living my life on the road? Overall, the beat that was manufactured for this track does seem quite polished, but having 5 prominent producers working on it, this beat, it should sound perfect. It definitely wasn't the most unique R&B beat, but it was clean. The vocals are okay, and YK Osiris is not necessarily a bad singer, but in a genre that has such incredible acts in the past, his voice is average at best. The lyrics are what is considered average in the genre, and the sentiment throughout is great, as most music today in R&B and hip-hop is more about having multiple partners than keeping just one. However, I feel that the lyrics, from what I could grasp, do evoke some lines that you would probably say if your girl caught you cheating. Overall, it wasn't all that memorable except for the addition of the clean guitar, which is a smart move by the producers to try and grow its audience base. I can see why this track has so many views and growing, but this track is far from timeless. If you like what you see, please hit subscribe below and make sure to hit the bell to receive any new notifications when the videos are posted. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I have provided the link below. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.